Hey everybody, my name is Robert. If you haven't been to this channel before, check it out and see if there's anything you like. The things that I do record here are family vlogs, product reviews, and I talk a lot about this truck right here, my 2017 Toyota Tacoma. So I just had my fourth child, my son Jeremiah, and welcome to the world, by the way, Jeremiah. And I thought about it. I said, a lot of people, they buy vehicles obviously for their family, they carry everybody. And now I have four kids, and as you know, this is a five-seater. But thinking about it, overall, even before that, people had asked, is this a practical family vehicle? And it actually depends on what you're doing and how big your family is, and also how big you are. So let me go over some points about it, and we could go from there. Okay, guys? All right, so as I was saying, this is a 2017 Toyota Tacoma. They haven't changed it much from 2016 and up. There were some changes for 2020 that I'll point out, but as you can see here, this is a short bed, so it's about a 5-foot bed length, and there's also long beds that have 6-foot beds. I chose a short bed because my Tacoma is actually a stick shift, a 6-speed manual, and that's what I preferred. It's a little bit harder to drive off-road and things like that, but that's a different subject matter. Right before we had Jeremiah, I actually had 3 other kids. So I had, Jesse, Jonah, and Joanna, and 12, 8, and 3. And they were fitting in here. It was actually pretty tight. So let me show you what I mean. So my height, I'm 6'1", maybe 6'1.5" to some people. And one of the things I've always had trouble with is getting inside. As you can see, we have to duck down. The taller people have to duck down, sitting in. So if I got my butt on here and I go in, it doesn't have any clearance. You kind of have to duck under. I got used to it over the years, and I ducked under. And I show you here, I'm a little bit chunky right now, but let's see if I can get sitting there. There you go. All right, so being 6'1", the headroom's not too bad because I don't have a moonroof. Some of these Tacomas have a tech package which has a moonroof, and with the moonroof I had noticed you can see my headroom here with my hat. It's pretty decent, but with the moonroof, because it takes up more space to have the roof, because then you make the roof taller, you lose some headroom, so maybe another inch or stuff. And that's one thing I didn't like. I purposely wanted a non-tech because I wanted more headroom. Except for 2020, all the previous years only had manual seats and no other adjustments. So you only had forward, back, and then just recline. You didn't have anything else. So you either had to get used to it or deal with it. I saw some people saw these spacers that you can adjust the height in the front and the back, but I mean, you could do whatever you want, but in my opinion, you're messing with safety by doing that. I mod my vehicles, of course, and there's a level of sacrifices that you can do, but as far as seats, I'd be really careful with that. But however, for 2020, they added a power driver seat finally. So what that adds is height and tilt. So if you're short, you can adjust it a little higher to get more upright, or if you're tall like me, you could drop it down a little bit or start to tilt it and help with your legs and stuff like that. So let me show you my view as far as when I'm in the truck here. All right, so this is me. As you can see, I try to zoom out as much as I could. I'm again 6'1". I think I have more torso than legs, and the seat's almost all the way back. But so when I'm driving with the clutch here, this is my room. I do have to, some people like to tilt it up higher. I kind of like it like this, so it's just an arm reach. If I tilt it up higher, I kind of would be more uncomfortable. It just depends on your style. But you can see, my knees get in the way of this. Jesse usually sits right here. My son, my oldest son, he's 5'6" right now. He's 12 years old. He's 5'6", so he's getting pretty tall. And I got Joanna's baby seat back there. And usually before my wife and and Joanna and Jonah would sit there. Jonah actually sat by me. So he's, I don't know how tall is he now. He's a lot shorter, but let me show you something about the back seat. So this is like, I can't really, you know, especially since this is a manual, to be comfortable, especially off-roading. This is the most I can move the seat forward. I wouldn't move anything more. So let me show you what the back seat looks like. All right, so this is, oh man, this is my bad. Okay, as you can see, I'm 6'1", and this is not gonna fit. All right, so as you can see here, again, I'm 6'1". If I was gonna adjust it because I'm 6'1", if my kids become 6'1", and most likely they're gonna be heavy 6 feet eventually, they're not gonna fit in here comfortably. Let me close this door. That barely, yeah, this is really uncomfortable, by the way. But you can see, Jonah can sit here because he's short. He's under 4 feet, but 6'1", this is like horrible. You can see the space up here. It's been moved up. That would give a little bit more space, but not much. Let me flip it around so you can see my headroom. And you see it's kind of dark, but I can't. At 6'1" back here, doesn't matter if my knees don't have room anyways, but you know, just trying to sit up straight, there's no reclining position in here. It's going to be tight for anyone that tall. So if you're trying to, you know, fit anyone that's like 6 foot plus and you're even 5'11", let's say, I wouldn't do it. I think if it is, you know, just for short term, you know, just around the block, but no field trips with this for sure. But the advantage of having a truck like this is that back space there. Again, this is a 5-foot bed, so I got a lot of space from the bottom to the top. Right now I got the cargo glide, so I can start loading up stuff and go, you know, packing it. A lot of people have considered a 4Runner. The advantage of the 4Runner I've seen is that their second row actually adjusts, so you can actually have more leg room for baby seats or for taller people. But the disadvantage is you lose cargo space versus a truck. And also, if you're loading up tall, you can't load things that are tall in a 4Runner because that would bring it up to head level. And if you were to brake, all your crap's can go forward. And that is a danger to your occupants inside the truck, because it is outside. Unless you got some crazy heavy stuff, usually we'll strap it down as well. It's not going to come as a projectile if you have to stop. And you also can add more items. You have what, I can't remember on the top of my head as far as cargo space, but the cargo space is going to be a lot shorter than a 5-foot bed. We used to have a 04 GX 470, which is similar to a 4Runner. And what I noticed with that is that there's a third row, but which folds. That's going to also take up a lot of your cargo space. So you end up losing more space having a third row. And that third row is not really meant for larger people. So it kind of puts your thoughts like, well, if you have more than 5 people, what do you do? Well, one, you can't have a Tacoma if that's going to be your daily, that you're going to carry 5+ passengers. It's not going to be possible. And also if they're tall, again, not possible. Baby seats, that was a good question too. Baby seats, I had put Joanna when she was a little baby in the middle, the center section here, and that helped give more leg room between the two seats. If you were to put it behind the passenger side, or obviously behind the driver's side, it'd be a little bit tall. It just depends on the brand. This one right here is the Diono, so when I had rear facing, it wasn't that bad, because you can actually put 3 in here in a row because they're made for narrow spots. Heavy, very heavy chair, but very heavy duty as well. So the conclusion of the video is, can you fit your family in a Tacoma? Again, it depends. It depends how tall you are, how tall your occupants are. If they're that tall, I wouldn't recommend it. You're gonna have to go full-size truck. Problem with the full-size truck though is if you're a avid off-roader, it ends up being a little bit challenging off-roading on the trails, the overland trails, the wider trails. that's no problem. But if you know you're gonna have some tight trails, having a Tacoma or something smaller, because just to pass each other, that's one thing I hate, is when you're at the hill and you got to pass each other, you know, you're looking at inches, and a full-size truck is a few inches wider. Turning, you know, turning 3-point, just maneuvering in a full-size truck, it's a lot harder off-roading, depending on the trail, even rock crawling, depending on wheelbase. I mean, it just really depends, but overall, having a smaller vehicle is easier to get in and out. Makes sense, right? That's why I ended up getting something else as far as a family hauler, which you see right there. I'll be talking about that next time. That's a 2013 LX 570. Has a third row, and it has a few things that I actually like more than a Tacoma, and that's something I'll talk about in my future videos. I just wanted to talk about the Tacoma if because people kept on asking me if this was a good vehicle for the family. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I just want to say thanks for all your support. Just hit 10,000 subscribers, so that's really, really exciting. And Happy New Year, everybody. Peace out.